All right, we're about a third of the way through the baseball season now, Alex. And what better to do than tiers?
Yeah, I mean, we did this before we started the season. We kind of put all the different positions into tiers. So yeah, now that we're about a third of the way through the season, we're going to put all the teams into tiers. So let's get started with our first tier, Elite. What teams are elite, Ben?
So, yes, I have four elite teams. Two from the NL. Wait, one from the NL and three from the AL. The one National League team for me in the elite tier is the Atlanta Braves. The Braves are here. In the American League, I have three: the Houston Astros, the Tampa Bay Rays, and the Texas Rangers. I believe that much in this Rangers team. I believe right now they are one of the game's elites, and that is even with the Jacob deGrom news. He won't be pitching anymore this year. But guess what? He hasn't been pitching this year. The Rangers have been incredible. They're one of only two teams in all of baseball with 40 wins, and that is including another team in this tier, the Tampa Bay Rays. The Rangers are elite. They're right now elite. Are they going to be in this tier all year long? I don't know, but I truly believe this is a playoff team. Right now, they are playing like one of the game's elites. They've been in the top 3 of my power rankings for the better part of a month. This is an elite baseball team. Corey Seager, Marcus Semien, 25-game hit streak there. You have great pitching, Nady Eovaldi, John Gray. This team is literally just missing one thing, and it's a serviceable bullpen.
Yeah.
So,
which you talked about with Ken Rosenthal earlier this week, that they need to be aggressive at the trade deadline and fill that hole if they want to be a strong playoff team.
And his answer was, I didn't even get to ask about the Rangers. He was like, the Rangers are going to be aggressive. They are going to be aggressive. And then he went on to talk about who is available, starting pitching, offense-wise. So I always love having Ken on. Ken is such a pro and he is so great. I just need to. Ken hops on and he asks all about his lighting and if he looks well lit enough, and then just drops so much knowledge. The guy is he's great. Ken Rosenthal is awesome, and he was really good talking a little bit, a very early pre-trade deadline stuff, and we talked a lot about the Rangers. So, 4 teams in elite: Rays, Rangers, Astros, Braves.
Astros, is this based on kind of, obviously they're the reigning World Series champs. They haven't had obviously Texas is ahead of them in the AL West. Haven't had the strongest start to the season. But you believe that what they have in their core is elite. Yeah,
I think they're also, they're 36 and 26.
Yeah.
Very good. They're coming off of a World Series. They were, I think, coming into this year, everybody would say the best team from last year was the Houston Astros. Who's the best team from this year? Well, they're the Astros, and now you look, the beginning of June, they're 36 and 26.
Yeah.
They're only not in first place because of another team that's on this elite list.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Astros are certainly an elite. Look, the Rangers are elite. The Astros, as of right now, the American League still runs through the Houston Astros. Do not get it twisted. American League runs through Houston.
That's fair.
Until it doesn't.
No, that's fair. That's what I said. I was like, a good chunk of this is what they've proven beforehand.
Yeah.
And they're not top right now, but they're still extremely strong. Elite team.
Yeah.
All right, let's move to our next tier. Playoff bound. Who do you have here?
Okay, playoff bound. We have 7 teams. Okay. I will list them first. We have the Dodgers, the Blue Jays, the Orioles, the Yankees, my Fighting Diamondbacks, the Twins, and the Miami Marlins. Look, we're sleeping on the Marlins.
No, we're not.
We're not.
We're not. We were talking about this earlier this week. Do not sleep on the Marlins.
Do not.
They are for real.
But people are still sleeping.
Don't
we told them not to, and they are. Marlins are very good. They're in second place. They'd be in the playoffs right now if the season ended. Dodgers, obviously, are a team here for me. Dodgers were a fringe elite playoff-bound team for me.
They would be my one kind of question as to why.
Fringe.
Okay.
The reason I have them here is I do not believe in that bullpen. I do not believe in it. They need help.
They could also be a team that's extremely aggressive at the trade deadline because they always are.
Yeah, I have to imagine they will be. Exactly. They always are. Their track record speaks to that. So you have to imagine they will address their needs, but right now they have some big, big needs. I mean, I watched a lot of their series against the Reds. Yes, the Reds are very fun and very exciting, but the Dodgers were shooting themselves in the foot a lot that series. I mean, ninth inning in game 1 of that series, they just couldn't throw strikes, couldn't get out of an inning, blow the lead, walk in a run, hit a batter, a run comes in. Like, there's nobody in the back end of that bullpen that you can turn to and say, we got it. You know, there's nobody. And in fact, it's the opposite. It's more like, do we got this? No matter how close it is. So it's a big worry for me. And as of right now, I can't put the Dodgers in the elite of the elite with their pitching situation.
I know you got to be so happy about this one.
I'm so happy.
Especially since they're here over the Padres.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Huge. Corbin Carroll is so good.
Your driver of the fan wagon?
The driver of the fan wagon. I said this. I started calling him MVP CC, and then I, to him, said, I've been calling you MVP CC. I'm hopeful it's like a bit of foreshadowing. I didn't expect it to foreshadow to later this year. He should be if the season ends right now, Corbin Carroll should get MVP votes.
Yeah.
That's how good he's been. Stolen bases, high average, double-digit homer total. Zach Gallen's been incredible. The Diamondbacks are really good. They're top of the NL West. This is a playoff-bound team. You can't convince me otherwise. They need to add at the trade deadline. Absolutely. They also need some pitching. But, yeah. Any other team here that jumps out to you?
No, it's great. I'm excited for the Orioles, and I'm excited for Miami, and I'm excited for the D-backs. This is like, did not expect, and it's a happy did not expect.
I think there's a few different reasons that teams are going to be in each category. Like, I don't think the Twins are as good as the Dodgers or the Orioles or the Blue Jays. But to me, I think they win that weak division. So to me, that makes them...
That helps.
Yeah.
That helps if you're in a weak Central division.
Exactly. Well, we're going to see that in another tier. Like, there's a lot of teams, Alex, that are still in it without being very good baseball teams. And then there's some that aren't that'll be in a tier below. But there's going to be a lot of teams in this next tier.
Okay, so let's get to that next tier. And that is playoff hopeful. And that is a packed tier.
That's a lot of teams.
Name them off.
Playoff
Name them off.
Hopeful. Okay? Red Sox, Giants, Reds, Padres, Cardinals, Brewers, Phillies, Mariners, Angels, Cubs, White Sox, Guardians, Pirates, and the New York Mets. I would like to start with the New York Mets.
Okay.
The Mets are a team to me that, if you ask me right at this moment, will the New York Mets make the playoffs? I would say yes. But as of right now, I cannot put them in a playoff-bound tier. They are not playing good baseball.
Nope.
They're losing games they should win against the Atlanta Braves. They're losing games that they should lose against everybody else. It is not a good stretch for the Mets. And right now, they're not playing as good as all those other teams in the tier above. So they're a team for me that I believe will look up at the beginning of October and say, the Mets were a good team this year, made the playoffs. Now, what can they do in the playoffs? But as of right now, the beginning of June, I look up and say, this team I can't put with those other teams. They are absolutely in this mix with all these teams that are just hopeful they can get in the playoffs. So the New York Mets are down here in playoff hopeful teams. White Sox are another one for me.
Okay.
The White Sox, well, we've been very critical of the White Sox this year.
Rightfully so.
Rightfully so. What I will say is since April 30th, the White Sox are 20-14. The only American League Central team over 500 since the end of April. That is quite the number. So again, as I mentioned in the last tier, the White Sox aren't out of it because they're 4.5 games out of the first place in a division and 4.5 games out of a playoff spot.
Yeah, they're in fourth place and 4 games out, which is...
It's a bad
anything can
division.
happen in that Central Division.
Anything can happen. So, of course they're playoff hopeful. They're the hottest team in the AL Central. to be honest, they're one of the hotter teams in the league. They're playing really good baseball right now, and they're certainly playoff hopeful. And we talked about the conversation with Ken, but I asked Ken the other day on Wednesday's episode, what are the White Sox? What are they? Are they gonna tear it all apart and admit that it didn't work, or are they going to buy? And he was like, Ben, I'm with you.
Yeah.
But I truly believe that they are going to be buyers. So
I mean, you have to. Like, when you're in a division that is so close, like you're in 4th place, but you're 4 games out of 1st place. In a month, anything can happen. You can be in 1st place, and you could be playoff bound. So you have to believe in yourself, especially at the trade deadline.
Yep. Let's see here.
Padres
are, I mean, shoot, I would have, beginning of the year, this is the elite. There's
no excuse for them to be here right now.
Yeah.
There's no excuse. This is unacceptable.
I agree. Yeah.
Another frustrating one is the Angels. For what they're trying to do and to keep Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be here either.
Another exciting one.
Yeah.
Cincinnati Reds.
So exciting.
The Reds are rolling.
Ellie De La Cruz.
Ellie De La Cruz has turned this franchise. Well, I can't even say that because they were playing good baseball before Ellie De La Cruz. He has been the boost that the entire baseball world needed to understand that this Reds team might just be for real. Do they have holes? Plenty.
Yeah.
Plenty of them.
Yeah.
But they're fun, and as of right now, they're playoff hopeful.
I dig.
Yeah. I don't even know how many teams that is. 3, 6, 9, 12, 14.
Oh, good.
14 teams here.
Good job. All right, let's move to our next tier. Maybe next year?
Yeah, maybe next year. You got the Nationals, you got the Royals, you got the Tigers, and you got the Rockies. I don't like that my Tigers are here.
I know.
I'm gonna be honest.
I know you feel sad about that.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I thought they would be closer. I think a couple of years ago I said that the rebuild is 2 to 3 years away from being like them being a very good baseball team. Well, guess what? We're in the beginning of that area where I thought it would be good, and it's not. I think the Javi Baez signing really hurt, and that sucks. Because that's the piece that you were supposed to build. You went out and got your shortstop of the future, and he's not good.
Yeah.
That can't happen. And then you've had to deal with, injuries of Riley Green, Spencer Torkelson. I almost said plethora again, but I used that recently, so I stayed away from plethora.
Nice job.
A plethora of injuries, but I went back to it. With Riley Green. Torkelson has been down and glimpses of being good, and hopefully I think Tork's going to be great. But they're just behind where I thought they would be, and that sucks. So they're still in it again in a division, technically in a division that is very bad, but I mean, just disappointment so far. A lot of injuries. Tarek Skubal hopefully coming back. Riley Green injured again. Just tough. Eduardo Rodriguez, who's been great this year.
You're down.
This sucks.
It sucks. I feel like we're missing a team.
There's one more tier.
I was like, there should be one more team in here.
Maybe next year, but there's one more team, and this tier is called the Oakland Athletics. And within this tier is the Oakland Athletics.
There it is.
And that is all I'm going to say.
That's it.
I have told you many times, I'm done talking about them. I am done talking about the Oakland Athletics. I'm so frustrated with the organization as a whole, not the players. The players are doing their best. The players have had good times. They've had bad times and whatever. But the organization, I'm so down on. I'm done talking about them. But they deserve an absolute tier of their own. So the 5th and final tier is named the Oakland Athletics, of which there is one team.